Gosh, you're probably thinking, what in the world did I just dial into? Well, hello there. How you doing? My name is Teresa and welcome to Wigs and Combat Boots. You're probably wondering what's going on with this whole get up here, the whole, yeah, hair's looking good, and then the oncologist must be doing my hair kind of thing. Both of these were gifts. They were given to me by a fellow wig sister who saw me in the middle of my worst portion of my therapies to take care of my cancer when it relapsed. And she sent these to me, and I just makes me smile. Just makes me smile to no end. And the thing about it is it came with a pair of socks that had some expletives on it that I probably shouldn't show on YouTube. But it summed up how wig sisters look out for each other, how no matter what the challenges are out there, that we can still look out for each other. And Veronica, girl, you make me laugh to no end. You really do. And so does Kerriann from Wig Nurse. These ladies have also had their trials and tribulations, and it's like outside of themselves, they will still look out for you kind of thing. And so I wanted to kind of give you a little bit of a giggle, because you know what? Laughing makes me happy. That's all I'm gonna say. So no, you're not seeing double. This is the second of two reviews basically on the WigShe wig that I received a little while back. So the second review is basically taking the wig from where it was before. It was brand new out of the box, hadn't been washed, the lace hadn't been trimmed. It was straight from the manufacturer, and it showed, you know, a pretty uniform gray. I'm going to link the video at the bottom, so if you want to take a look at it and see how it looked before I washed it, you can see how uniform the color was, how uniform the texture was. And not that it looked faked, but it did look extremely straight, almost unnaturally so. And the reason why I bring this up is because before I had my cancer treatments, I had salt and pepper hair. It was long. It was about 18 to 20 inches. And one of the things that made it more realistic, I guess you could say, was the frizz. And it's one of those things that we try to get away from. I know plenty of wig sisters who love the shine on wigs. Especially because it looks healthy. It looks like healthy hair that is shiny. But I know that with my hair, before I lost it all, and now it's going back again, it definitely doesn't have that kind of shine. It has a sparkle to it, but it doesn't have a shine. And so what I noticed after I washed the wig was that it started to look a little bit more like my own hair. And that's why I want to do a second wig review, is to show you what happens after you wash a human hair wig, which I did. And I plan on actually styling it here in front of you too. And I'm gonna go ahead, of course, and fast forward through all that. And what I'm also gonna do is, like previous videos, I'm gonna bust it out into chapters. So if you wanna fast forward through to a different chapter, because you don't wanna watch all the little things, or maybe you don't wanna watch it getting styled. You just wanna take a look at how it looks after being washed and trimmed. Gotcha. But I just didn't think I did it enough justice in the last video. It was just basically straight out of the box, and that was it. Now, there were other reasons why that video was as short and not quite as much detail as usual, and I'm gonna go ahead and mention that now. And if you don't wanna hear that part, like I said, you can go ahead and skip ahead to the actual review itself. If this isn't your first video watching me do reviews, thank you for coming back. I really, really appreciate it. But if you're new here, there are some things that you might not know about me. One of the things that you might not know about me is why my hair is so short. There's a lot of ladies who prefer to have their hair short. For me, it was a medical necessity. I've been dealing for the past year with diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, so a cancer, blood cancer, and it relapsed. So it was in remission for about 2 months, and then it came back. So in the span of a year, I've actually had 2 battles with lymphoma. This last recent battle, I was treated with a, not chemotherapy, although it was a bridging thing, was a really harsh chemotherapy that jacked me up. And then I also ended up undergoing immunotherapy. It's something called CAR T cell therapy, where it arms your cells to go ahead and do battle with cancer, and it wipes you out pretty good. I plan on doing a video that kind of encapsulates all that. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because in that last video where I did the WigShe review, I was still kind of in the midst of the aftermath of that battle. So energy was very hard to come by. I wanted to do that video so badly that I just mustered together what I could, put it together as well as I could in front of the cameras, kept it together as best, is probably better, accurate in how to say that, and then put out the review. not my best work, and that's why I wanted to do this one to kind of rectify that and go a little bit further. If you are new here, I appreciate you coming to see this video as well, especially knowing that there's already another video about this particular wig. And I appreciate all of you guys for just being here and just hanging out with me, because in this big wide world of YouTube, you could be anywhere else, and you chose to kind of chill out with me. So I really, really appreciate that. All right, let's go ahead and talk about this beauty again, because I got some things I want to say about her. So this is WigShe, style 085. And a few months ago, when I was in my first remission that lasted like all of 2 seconds, WigShe reached out to me and said, hey, we kind of like your wacky style. We'd like to collaborate with you. And I said, you know what? That sounds fabulous. I had no idea that I was going to be getting cancer again, but that's neither here nor there. I just wanted to have some fun, because that's one of the things that these wigs have allowed me to do, is have fun, is to not think about being sick and not think about other people seeing me as sick. Because you put this on and take a look at this. So my hair was not necessarily this lush, but it definitely was this long and this frizzy and this salt and pepper, although the pattern was just a little bit different. But she is beautiful. And it's one of the things that before I washed her, I mean, there was a little bit of a cold set in there from the box that she was in. It's actually this box right here. But once I washed her, I mean, it felt like it was my own hair. I've got to tell you. Now, there were some challenges because I'm so used to dealing with synthetic hair, synthetic wigs, that I wasn't prepared for dealing with tangles as much as this one did. Now, she did tangle quite a bit when I washed her. That was on me. I probably was a little bit more vigorous with washing her than I should have been. But I put on some L'Oreal Elvive deep conditioner, and it did the trick. Took care of all the tangles, made her super soft, and she feels wonderful. This feels like having my own hair back again. It really does. Although straight. My hair is not straight. My hair is curly wavy. It looks kind of nutty. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you could tell from before I put the wig on, but it's going in all sorts of directions right now, which makes it pretty entertaining. But putting her on just makes me feel like, oh, this is what I'm talking about. This particular WigShe wig is made from 100% Remy human hair, so it is human hair, and she is about 18 inches long all the way around, just like I mentioned in the first video. This is a flat 18 inches with the exception of one area that I did point out before, and she has a little bit of a bang, just a little bit. My face is about 8 inches from forehead to chin, so I want to say this inadvertent bang that they gave her is about 8 inches, whereas the rest of it is a cool 18 inches all the way down to the bottom, so right at the top of my bra strap kind of thing. And she's wonderful. Now, I don't have a weight for her, and she is about a medium density wig, just in terms of her 150% density. So what I'm trying to say is, for those of you that are weight sensitive and usually wear your wigs for a very long time, you might want to test drive her out to make sure that you can handle this weight for a long period of time. Now, if you're just going to be going out to dinner, just going out shopping, short trips, that kind of thing, I don't think you'll have a problem with it because she doesn't feel that heavy. But because of how thick she is, I could see her feeling heavy after a while. Now, with her 150% density, she is thick. So let me give you a demonstration. You see this ponytail right here, and you see where my finger is? That's easily an inch. And usually when you have an inch or more, that's pretty dense. So what you can do, if you are comfortable with styling your wigs yourself, you can go ahead and thin these fibers out. Thin these shear it out kind of thing, or take it to your hairstylist and have them thin it out for you. So that way it's a little bit more of a believable density. For me, my hair was pretty dense, so I could get away with people thinking this was my hair. So much so that I would end up going to a curly hair stylist and I would have them layer my hair, because it was just, I don't know if you're familiar, but in the 70s on SNL, there was Rosanna Dana, and she kind of had this triangular hair. That's kind of how my hair would look if I didn't have it layered. And so that would be one thing that you could do with this wig if you chose to get her, to make her so that she's not so bulky at the ends. But boy, she is gorgeous. So this is a salt and pepper color. This is the only salt and pepper color that WigShe has on their catalog. And the reason for that is, it's because I asked them to make it salt and pepper. When they wanted to collaborate, they asked me which wig would I would want to do it with. And I looked through the entire catalog and I said, well, these wigs are pretty, but none of them have the color offered that I want. And they asked me what color I wanted, and I told them. And it took them a bit to get it right because it ended up being a super duper custom. They had done gray first, a very one-dimensional gray, and said, how is this looking for you? And I said, you know, it doesn't have any dimension at all. It just looks like a flat gray. Is there a way that you can put darker and lighter, like salt and pepper, throughout the hair? And after about a month or so, this is what they came up with. And I could not be happier. So if you're looking for custom colors, WigShe can definitely do it. It's not just what they have in their catalogs. And that's where I kind of misunderstood. So I want you to understand the customer service is exemplary. They wanted to get this right. And I'm not just doing this because they sponsored this video because of this wig. They know that I will give my honest opinion, and they've done that with other wig reviewers. I know in the past when they were first starting out, WigShe didn't have the greatest reviews, but they have learned from all these reviewers. And this is one of the products they've come up with recently, and I couldn't be happier. I didn't know what to expect, but I am so glad I gave them a chance, and I'm glad they gave me a chance too, because this feels like home. So I've shown you what the coloring looks like. I've shown you some of the aspects of it. Here's the front. Let's take a look at the lace front. Now, what's kind of showing up underneath is my hair that's grown in, see right there? So let's go adjust this. They have this silk lace, that's what this is right here. And it is quite believable. Now, you might be able to see it really, really well because I've got this ridiculous lens on my camera or on my phone that you can pretty much see the moons, craters, and stuff like that. So you can see the lace front very well, but you can also see that how natural looking it is. Pay no attention to the flakes on my face because I'm also trying to go back to using retinol. That's a whole other ball of wax, and for those of you that are of a certain wise age, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But in any case, it does look extremely realistic. Check out the part. That's the cap right there. It's perfect. It's wonderful. It looks super realistic. Let's go ahead and take the cap off so you can see what I'm talking about under the hood. This is the same as it looked the last time I showed it to you guys. So here's the wig cap. This is a silky lace cap with ear-to-ear lace. It's got these combs here, so if you do have hair, these can kind of anchor into your hair to stay in place. And it's got it on both ears and at the back here and at the very back of the nape of the neck right here. You'll notice that it's got closed wefting at the back, and honestly all the way around, even before my hair started growing back in, as you'll see in the last video, my head was very sensitive. It was ridiculously sensitive. The therapy was pretty damaging. This is super comfortable. So if you have a sensitive scalp, you'll be perfectly fine. You can probably take these combs out as well if that's going to be a problem. You don't need to have them in there. If you choose to, if you're concerned about having this wig stay on your head, you can always use a wig grip. I will only use it if I absolutely have to. Right now my hair is acting like Velcro, so nothing's falling off of it. But you can use a wig grip. You can use wig glue. It Stays is a good one. And you can actually, when you put it towards the front, especially at the ear tabs, that'll help with keeping your ear tabs in place kind of thing. Mentioning the ear tabs, there are some metal stays inside the ear tabs on both sides. And in the back, you've got an extended lace nape, and then you've also got these hook adjusters. Now that is one thing I would suggest if I were to suggest anything to WigShe, is if there's a way to get away from hook adjusters and go to Velcro adjusters, because they just seem a lot more secure. I'm sure there are reasons why they use hook adjusters and they work just fine. But I know that sometimes when I take the wig off and I'm putting on a wig stand, the hook undoes itself and then I have to readjust it again. Not a huge burden, but it would be a preference to have a Velcro adjuster that would stay in place. So you put the metal stays in place there, cover up the hairline, which is, I'm not used to having hair, so it's kind of cool having to cover up a hairline for a change. Now, what I was talking about with the It Stays and using glues or anything like that. So here at the ear tabs, where I've trimmed the lace and it goes down to my ear tabs, if you don't have hair, you could glue it down right here and it will stay right there. And look how low down it goes. I mean, it's realistic enough, and if you wanted to cut some of those hairs right there to make it look like sideburns, you could do it. and nobody would bat an eyelash. As a matter of fact, I don't think I would bat an eyelash of me wearing this right now just the way it is, but I prefer to go ahead and try to style it for you later on in this video. I also wanted to mention that WigShe was kind enough to offer a discount for me to offer to you as a result of reviewing this wig. And the discount is Maria10, and what it'll do is it'll offer 10% off of the cost of this wig or any other wig that you order through the WigShe website. And unlike a lot of the other human hair wig sites, the costs on these are fairly manageable. They're pricey, but they're not as pricey as some of the other places I've seen. I don't know how people are able to afford a lot of these human hair wigs. This is an appropriate, reasonable price for a great product, and as long as you take care of it, human hair wigs will last a very, very long time, just like your human hair would, as long as you're not dyeing it or doing anything like that. Which reminds me, yes, you can dye human hair wigs, but that's a whole other ball of wax that I'm not even gonna go into there, because there's a reason why I stopped dyeing my hair in the first place. And it's not because of the dyes, it's because I couldn't keep up with it. My hair it grew too fast back then. Now, it's a struggle just for it to grow at all. Like, it's half the length that it should be. That's a whole other ball of wax. Let's go ahead and get to the styling portion of the program. So I've just finished braiding the hair. I'm going to put the hook adjusters in because I took it out to put it on the mannequin head because it's about 22 inches. My head is 21.5 inch circumference, so it's a petite average basically. Here's that 8-inch bang that just kind of happens to come with the wig, and then this is the braid that I just did on it. What do you think? So again, you can put some it stays on here so that these stay down, but if you're wearing your hair down, you probably don't need to put anything on it. It's just if you're pulling your hair away. But look at this, you pulled the hair away from your face, and that realistic silk lace just looks so realistic. I could run around all day long like this, and this is how I used to wear my hair when I was working in the military. I'm on a medical leave right now because of the cancer, but this is literally how I wore my hair, except that I had bangs. So it's a gorgeous wig. It's so believable. Now I'm gonna go ahead and let's try to see if we can put some curls in here. So I've got the wig off of the mannequin head and I'm getting ready to put it back on after styling it, just so you guys can see how gorgeous she is. So yeah, you see that I've got some of the hairs and my dry skin sticking out from under here, but when you pull them out, this is what you have. So this was the styling that I did with barreling the curls away from the face. And so you can see that I've done it all the way around. She's a beautiful, beautiful wig. Such a realistic set of colors. And I don't really have any human hair wigs, so this feels wonderful. I mean, no shade to the synthetic wigs, they're great, but feeling hair and feeling it on your head, especially after you haven't had it in a while, yeah. So my alopecia sisters, this is a great budget version of human hair wigs. Granted, they're still a little pricier than some of our budget version synthetic wigs, but they are They're definitely worth it, and they do last. You know what, let's do one last thing. You've seen the color on the inside, and I know I showed you the color on the outside last time too, but I didn't have it curled like this. So let's go ahead and go look outside. Oh. It's supposed to be October. It's probably about 86 degrees outside, but it's great weather for showing off hair. So this is Wig 085 Salt and Pepper from WigShe, outside styled. So folks, I hope you enjoyed coming back to see me. I know I enjoyed doing this for you, and I know it was a long time coming, and I've got plenty of wigs stocked up. As a matter of fact, I've hidden them away from you, but I've got them all down here. Now the wigs that are back here, these are all wigs that I have done reviews on already, and I'll link those down in the description box below. So I appreciate you hanging out. And this, like I said, even if they hadn't sponsored this video and I bought this, I would have hoped that this would have been living up to the standards of the amount of money that I would have paid for it. And it does. It really does. And knowing that I have a human hair wig now that I know will last and looks like this, it makes me feel real good. So if you like this content, if you like listening to me, please, please, please come back. I would really like you to come back. The best way to come back is to hit the subscribe button so you know when I've got new videos coming. If anything, you can always go back and look at the older videos that I've got in there, because I mean, I've got more, and I've got more to come. So if you like this content, let me know. There's a whole comment box area down below. Tell me what you liked about the video, and if there's anything that you could suggest. I'm okay with that. I'm pretty new to this kind of stuff, and I really enjoy playing around with wigs. And if you're interested in the whole cancer journey and stuff like that, I've got other videos on that as well. I'll have more coming out. And granted, when it comes to that kind of stuff, everybody's experience is different. So there's that too. But I really enjoyed being here with you, and I hope you enjoyed your time with me. And I hope you're doing well. And I hope you have a great, great rest of your day, and even better tomorrow. I'm going to see you in the next video. I'll see you later.